The Midchapter patch has officially released, and the patch notes are now out, and so we're all going to read them together, although we should probably know by now what's actually coming, but it's going to be nice to have some numbers, so let's take a look at that. And also we have chat here. They're down there, so let's take a look. Killer perk updates. Blood Echo. When hooking a survivor, all injured survivors suffer from hemorrhage and exhaustion for 20, 25, 30 seconds. Was 45 seconds. Blood Echo has a cooldown of 80, 70, 60 seconds. That is removed. So why say it has a cooldown? Just say removed the cooldown. Dead Man Switch. When hooking a survivor, Dead Man Switch activates. The first survivor that stops repairing a generator calls upon the entity to block it for 40, 45, or 50 seconds. Was 35, 40, 45 seconds. Dead Man Switch cannot activate while it was currently activating a generator. There was some confusion around this that people just didn't fucking understand, because people were like, oh no, Kaiser, you don't understand. It's a buff. It's a buff. It's a buff. It's not a buff. It's not a buff at all. Because what it did was it removed the synergy with Grim Embrace. So basically DMS only procs on one gen. So you can't like pain res DMS a gen and then go harass another gen and get the DMS to proc there as well. It only procs on one gen. It only lasts for 5 more seconds than it used to. So yeah, it's not a buff. It's a nerf. It's a pretty significant nerf too. Deathbound. When a survivor heals another survivor, they scream and activate Deathbound. Remove the distance requirement. When the healer is further than 16, 12, or 8 meters from the survivor they healed, they are oblivious. This lasts until the healer loses a health state. This can proc on multiple survivors, and if 2 survivors heal 1 survivor, then both survivors become oblivious. We tested this in the PTB. This is actually a very, very strong perk. I originally thought it wasn't that great, but after testing, yeah, it's actually a pretty decent perk. Next up is genetic limits. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from exhausted for 6, 7, 8 seconds. Was upon finishing a healing action, and was for up to 32 seconds. This is a net buff. This counters dead hard. It counters this counters dead hard. It counters sprint burst. It counters lithe. It counters overcome, although I don't know why you're trying to counter overcome. It counters balance. I would say genetic limits is probably the best exhaustion perk. Second best. I think Mindbreaker is still better, but second best anti-exhaustion perk in the game now. Hex crowd control lasts for 3, 4, 5 vaults that survivors rush vault are blocked by the entity. This used to be on a cooldown. Now it is basically the last 3, 4, 5, the last 5 vaults. This fucking destroys TL walls. It destroys Shack. It I wonder if it's going to be good on Leary's. I think I want to test that. But it absolutely decimates. I think crowd control is now at the same level as blood favor, where it's like an extremely strong perk, but it is still a hex, which is where hexes need to be. Hexes need to be extremely strong perks because of their inherent weaknesses. So I am very happy with this change. Leverage. When a survivor performs the unhook action, their healing speed is reduced by 50% for 30 seconds. This is a very, very good anti-heal perk now. It used to be incredibly shit, but now it is a good anti-heal perk. Is it the best one? Probably not. Will you be throwing it in your anti-heal builds? Yeah, I could see it. But it's not the greatest. Machine learning. When damaging a generator, it becomes compromised. Only one generator can be compromised at a time. Remove the requirement to activate the perk, and when it is completed, you are undetectable and gain 10% haste for 60 seconds. The effect cannot stack. What they mean, this is another thing that people were confused about. What they mean by this effect cannot stack, they do not mean that you can't gain more haste on top of it. What they mean is that if genetic limits procs, and then you compromise another generator, and that generator finishes, you will not get 20% haste. You will only still get the undetectable and 10%. Predator. When a survivor escapes a chase, reveal their aura for 6 seconds, and it has a 40-second cooldown. This is just the new nurse perk. This is the best nurse perk. This is the #1 nurse perk. I'm glad Predator is good now. I'm happy with that. But yeah, this is just the new nurse perk. Throw it on nurse. Get fuck Get fucked, everybody. Thwack. Thwack starts with 3 tokens. When breaking a pallet or breakable wall, consume a token. Survivors within 24-meter scream, revealing their location for 3, 4, 5 seconds. When hooking a survivor, you regain a token. Now, it used to show auras after they scream, but I guess they took that away. I'm still happy with it. I had been saying that Thwack needed tokens. It starts with tokens. It regains when you hook a survivor. I'm happy with it. I'm glad. I think that's good. I think it's a very good location information perk. I'm down. Zancian Tactic. Wait, I wonder if it has a max. I have to test that. Zancian Tactics. Reveal the aura of pallets and windows within 32 meters. Removed breakable walls, which is good because nobody needs the auras of breakable walls. And survivors who drop pallets are revealed to you for 6, 7, and 8 seconds, which is good. Good. Very good. Very good change. Very good buff to Zancian. Happy with that. Survivor perk updates. Blood Rush. After being unhooked, Blood Rush activates for the next 60 seconds. While suffering from exhausted, press the active ability button to recover 1 exhausted instantly. Blood Rush deactivates when used or when performing a conspicuous action. Blood Rush is disabled once the exit gates are powered. So basically, you get unhooked. You sprint burst away. You press it, you get rid of your thing. You're ready to sprint burst again. It's basically an anti-tunnel tool now, because we needed more anti-tunnel tools. Corrective action. You start the trial with 1, 2, 3 tokens and gain a token up to a maximum of 5 every great skill check. When a survivor fails a normal skill check, 1 token is consumed and their failed skill check becomes a good skill check. Additionally, reveal their aura for 6 seconds. So basically, you bring this to make sure your teammates aren't blowing gens all game. And it also will help you find where your teammates are at. So if your teammate explodes a gen and you're looking for them so you can actually like work with them, it'll actually show you where they are. Good change, pretty solid buff. It's definitely weaker than it was on the PTB, but it's still a decent buff. I think it does exist in somewhere probably like the bottom of B tier, just for the information alone. But yeah. Distortion. Start with 1 token, and when your aura would be red, consume a token, hide your scratch marks, and aura for the next 8, 10, or 12 seconds. For each 30 seconds you spend in chase, gain 1 token up to 2. Happy with that. It discourages rat gameplay. You still get the very powerful aura reading and hiding scratch mark effects. The anti-aura reading, anti-scratch mark effects. Discourages rat gameplay. Very good change. Distortion is still strong. If you think it's not, you're wrong. I'm down for it. Inner focus. You can see other survivors' scratch marks. Whenever another survivor loses a health state, the killer's aura is revealed to you for 10 seconds. No more ranged condition. It's fine. It's gonna be a little bit harder for killers to actively be sneaky now, but hey, it is what it is. Lucky Star. Hiding in a locker, you make no grunts of pain. After exiting the locker, you see the aura of the closest generator, all survivors, and make no grunts of pain nor leave blood pools for 30 seconds. Really good. And then it goes on cooldown for 30 seconds. Very, very good. Very good buffs. It goes very well in locker builds. You can what's the name of that perk? Discordance? No. I forget what the name of the perk is, but you activate the locker perk that hides your scratch marks and makes a loud noise notification. Hop into another locker down the road. Completely hide from the killer. You're good. You're good. Poised. When first starting repairs on a generator, reveal the killer's aura for 6 seconds. After the generator is completed, leave no scratch marks for 14 seconds. Pretty significant buff. Not bad. This is good for the beginning of the game and probably not much else, but hey, I'm down for it, I guess. Quick Gambit. When you're being chased, all other survivors gain 5% repair speed. And then when you get hit, it goes on cooldown for 60 seconds. And you also see the auras of other survivors. This is a very powerful perk. I think a lot of people... Deception. Thank you, Dak. I think a lot of people are really underestimating the power of a 15% repair increase, because it's 5% per survivor. So I think people are greatly underestimating the power of that, especially if you hand it to like a really decent looper. It's incredibly strong. Teamwork, collective stealth. After being healed by another survivor, you both leave no scratch marks as long as you stay within 8, 12, 16 meters. Remove the cooldown was 12 meters. The effect lingers for 4 seconds when leaving the range. The effect does not stack, and then it does the same thing for Power of 2. They remove the cooldown, increase the range, the effect lingers. It's 5% haste and leaving no scratch marks respectively. Seems kind of cool. I don't know if it's necessarily going to put the teamwork... I don't know if it's going to necessarily put the teamwork perks into like an upper echelon, but hey, at least they're not useless now. And then we're gonna live forever. When healing another survivor in the dying state, your healing speed is increased by 150%, which is a buff. When completing the action, grant them endurance status effect for 6, 8, 10 seconds. This effect has a 30-second cooldown. Remove the list of conditions to trigger this effect. So yeah, pretty good. Very good buffs all around. Now we're into the killer updates, which irritate the ever-living shit out of me for the most part, but we're gonna go with it. Hillbilly, decrease the overdrive dissipation buffer to 8 seconds, used to be 15. Decrease the overdrive chainsaw sprint speed to 12, was 13. Decrease the overdrive to gate when revving to 1.5 per second, was 2. Decrease charges when sprinting to 1.5 per second, was 2. Increase the chainsaw miss cooldown to 2.7 seconds, was 2.5. Overall, Billy is much more punishing to miss. I said this whenever I was talking about the Hillbilly in the PTB update. Even the best Hillbilly players miss, because part of Hillbilly's kit is using it to get across the map. It is not only a anti-loot tool, it's a chase tool. This punishes you for missing, which is stupid. And all of these did not need to happen. 1 or 2 of them, sure. All of them happening at the same time feels really bad. I'll of course play Billy today, but it doesn't feel good, guys. Next up, the Hillbilly add-ons. Discarded air filter became a common. High-speed idler screw became uncommon. Dad's boots went to rare, and then they nerfed it, and then spiked boots went to very rare, and then they nerfed it, which is stupid. I do not understand the point of nerfing both of these add-ons twice. What's even worse is that they nerfed Billy's cross-map potential by decreasing all the base kit and punishing you more for missing, and then they nerfed his cross-map potential even more by nerfing his turn rate add-ons. So it's like they don't want you to do cross maps with Billy. They just don't want you to do it. They're actively discouraging cross maps, which is really frustrating. And then low pro chains, chainsaw hits within 5 seconds of breaking a pallet, inflict deep wound. So you can no longer down people with low pro. I still think low pro is one of his best add-ons, but yeah. Oh, Skull Merchant nerfs. Woohoo! Who's ready for Skull Merchant to enter the fucking D tier? The Skull Merchant no longer gains haste. Survivors who are fast vaulting or no longer gains haste for having a claw trap. Survivors who are fast vaulting are no longer detected by drones. Drones are always in the active state. Decrease the number of scan lines to 1. Drone lines are only visible within 16 meters. The Skull Merchant gains 5% haste for 8 seconds when scanning a survivor within 5 seconds of deploying a drone or changing the drone's rotation. Increase the drone's rotation speed to 95 degrees per second. Decrease the hindered penalty when scanned to claw trap to 8%, used to be 10. Decrease the survivor's immunity period after being scanned to 2.5, was 3. And decrease the Skull Merchant's movement speed, because fuck you, that's why, when deploying a drone or inspecting her radar to 4.4. Then her add-ons, the ultrasonic speaker decreases the immunity period by 10%, used to be 25. Vital targeting processor increases hindered for scans from 2% to 3%. And expired batteries. All survivors start the trial with a claw trap, which has 50% of the normal battery life. Claw trap battery life increases by 10% for each claw trap received, up to 150%. Note, after the initial claw trap of 50%, the next claw trap starts at 100% battery life. I don't know if any of these add-ons are worth it or not. I'm not a Skull Merchant player, but I do know that Skull Merchant is in the fucking ground. And she's probably not coming out. She's hanging out down there with Trapper and Freddy and Myers, so screw it, I guess. Twins got minor nerfs, increased the cooldown when Victor is crushed to 20 seconds, and increased the cooldown when Victor downs a survivor to 3.2. The Unknown got a little bit of nerfs here. Decreased the teleport movement speed recovery to 1.4, was 1.5. Move survivor body texture effect from the UVX airborne hits to successful UVX weekend hits, Weakened survivors should now have more visual information to track if they have become or are still afflicted by the weakened. Updated the sound effect for the UVX airborne hit to sound more natural, and updated the Unknown's killer power icon with new smaller icons to better show the mechanics and cooldowns. And then they nerfed blurry photo, massively nerfed blurry photo, like absolutely butchered the fuck out of blurry photo. And then they nerfed vanishing box for some fucking reason. We got the level 1 of the event. Map update Springwood added a window in the dead end generator room as a new escape option for survivors. What? Was this in the PTB? I don't remember reading this. Why are we buffing? Yeah, wait, no, why are we buffing Springwood? What dead end generator room? Which room are they talking about? Basement? Hey, J2. What dead-end generator room? Talking about the boiler room? I'm trying to figure out. The upstairs one? Single gen? There's no way. There's no way they buff single gen. It's suicide gen for a oh my god, bro. Whatever, man. Features. Cypress Mori is now included as part of the killer's base kit ability, giving the killer the ability to Mori the last survivor. That's fine. Cypret offerings will be retired. 1 million blood points will be offered to players, which must be claimed prior to 11 a.m. EST on November 7th. Match detail screens now show the connection status of the killer player, as well as normal survivor players. Been wondering when that was going to be a thing, and players can now preview Moris at the Rift Pass. Bug fixes. Archives fixed an issue that caused the With Your Own Hands challenge to not gain progress. When killing a survivor with the Lich's Recover artifact, fixed an issue. I'm not going to read fixed an issue every time, guys. Where there was an extra text in memory 3778 that is not reflected in the audio recording. Fixed with the Enlighten challenge in Tome 1, Level 2 that prevented consistent progress completion among survivor players. Audio in 2v8 added a sound cue at the start of the trial to indicate the trial started with disconnected players turned into bots. The Legion's last sleepover outfit used the wrong audio, caused some killer outfits to not produce SFX, caused the spirit phasing sound to be too loud from her POV, caused the shape to play the stalking SFX when reaching the tally screen, caused Rain to have a default lobby music instead of the alien theme, caused Lara Croft's VO to play during a Mori, caused Slipknot's theme to not play when swapping cosmetics. Dwight's Mr. Outfit is now producing a short-range SFX when crouching and uncrouching. Bots. Survivor bots went through a grueling training on how to use flashlights and are much better at aiming them using them mid-chase. Why? They were already fucking strong. What do you mean? What do you mean you buffed bot flashlights? What? What do you mean, bro? I was already getting a fucking insta-blinded by bots. What do you mean? Fucking hell. During running of 2v8, we found that the Huntress bot was struggling to count in any future uses of killer bots. She'll be able to reload her hatchets even when she has more than 0 hatchets, okay? Bot brains should correctly initialize if players leave while loading into a trial. Okay, fair enough. Characters that cause the Nemesis' unique roar animation to be missing on the 4th hit, cause survivors to become stuck in the fear animation while in madness, made it possible to see inside Victor's head when reappearing, caused the grace period to be too short with Slipstream when being unhooked against the Singularity, caused survivors to be able to use the Candelabra, limited item from Castlevania Lights Out event, or flashbang items while affected by Twins or Victor, or the Cenobites Chains, caused the Nemesis add-on Adrenaline Injector to not increase killer instinct duration, caused the Dark Lord's model to become distorted when spectating while the killer shapeshifted forms, caused the Dark Lord's bat form camera to sometimes clip through assets at certain angles, updated the description of the Dark Lord's magical trinket add-on to reflect the correct value, updated the issue that causes Xenomorph's acidic blood add-on to only trigger once per trial. Oh, so it became even more useless. Gotcha. More legendary outfits for killers now come with a custom name. Jesus Christ. All right, do you guys really want me to read all of these freaking, all of these bug fixes, bro? I'm not reading all of these. We're already 20 minutes in. Anyway, that's the patch. If you're watching this over on the YouTube when it gets released, I should be playing Dead by Daylight, the new mid-chapter patch. So please make sure that you swing through and come check us out. As long as you're 18 years of age or older! I do not need to know. I don't know why I need to keep stressing that. It's on literally every single thing. So please, please, please make sure you are at least 18 years of age or older when you are freaking coming to my stream and my Discord and literally everything else. Anyway, as always, a great big special thank you to my channel members listed on screen now. If you want to find out how to become a channel member today, get awesome perks like seeing videos early, merch discount codes, and more, then please click that join button down below. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Need more Kaiser in your life? Well, I've got you covered. Check out my second channel, The Kaiser Extras, where I upload full gameplays, stream compilations, me reacting to your Dead by Daylight clips, and more. We also upload a daily short with all the greatest clips from stream. We'll see you over there. Link is in the description.